Everyone talks about pretty much about the same reasons people don't like living in Dallas, Texas. But in this video, we're bringing you 7 reasons people hate living in Dallas that you may have not even heard of before. So stay tuned.
We're Bret and Molly Chance with Texas Home Life Realty right here in Mound, Texas. And we love helping people have the right information and guidance so they can make smart decisions and have peace of mind whether they're buying or selling real estate here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. If you're looking to move to the Dallas area, fill out our VIP buyer experience form below and we'll help you find just the right place to call home. And if you're looking to actually sell your house, you can fill out our VIP seller experience form below as well.
Now let's dive into the 7 reasons people hate living in Dallas. Just to be clear, we absolutely love living here, but we're going to share with you what some other people have to say about it. First of all, they don't like TexMex food. And we tend to have a lot of Tex-Mex restaurants here in the Dallas area. Most people that move to Texas from other states are used to eating authentic Mexican food or some other version of it. In Texas, most restaurants are Tex-Mex restaurants, not authentic Mexican food. So when we talk about Mexican food restaurants, we're typically talking about Tex-Mex. We have friends that moved here from Arizona and they cannot get past the Mexican food most restaurants serve here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. They just won't go to those restaurants. Personally, we like the Tex-Mex restaurants around here, but the good news is that there are a ton of options when it comes to restaurants in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I would say that we have pretty much good variety of all kinds of restaurants for different tastes in the DFW Metroplex.
Now this may sound funny, but the people that tend to not like Dallas say they don't like friendly people and being part of a community. Texans in general are pretty friendly folks, and that also pertains to the Dallas area. It's been our experience that people moving to the Dallas area from other states sometimes have a hard time understanding the friendliness of people living here. Genuine Texans are typically friendly with no ulterior motives. When we first moved to Flower Mound, we had only lived in our house for maybe a few days when a neighbor actually came to the door. She introduced herself and invited us to a little neighborhood gathering out in their driveway. Then a few weeks later, another neighbor brought us a box of fudge from Buc-ee's. Now, don't get me wrong, most people around here are friendly, but not in your business friendly. Our neighbors are the kind of people that would just do anything for you if you needed them, but they aren't necessarily letting themselves in the back gate to take a swim when they want to use our pool. You'll see that most properties in the DFW area have fences, and that's because fences make good neighbors. But seriously, most people like to be a part of a community, and that's what you'll get when you move to a great neighborhood in the Dallas area.
Another reason people hate living in Dallas is a fast-paced lifestyle. There's always a lot going on, and expectations are that you're pretty much on 24/7. If you're moving to Dallas from another big city, this won't be a big deal for you. I grew up in a lake community north of Dallas, so I was used to a slower pace of living. And Molly grew up in a small town in East Texas where the pace was a lot slower as well. Some people just prefer to live out in more rural areas where there aren't as many people and activities going on constantly. But with a faster paced lifestyle, there also comes with some perks of activities of shopping, dining, concerts, sporting events, all within reach. When we want to unplug from that fast-paced lifestyle, we either have a little staycation at home with all of our tech devices turned off, or we take a drive out into a rural area just outside of Dallas-Fort Worth area. There are some really cool small towns to enjoy around here.
Urban sprawl is another reason people have said that they hate about living in Dallas. The more people move to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, the more it grows. New Census Bureau data shows that North Texas had the fastest growing metro area in the United States from July of 2021 to July of 2022 with an annual growth of more than 170,000 people. But let me break this down a little for you. The city of Fort Worth gained just over 19,000 people. The city of Dallas gained over 8,800, with Frisco gaining 8,500 and both McKinney and Plano coming in at 4,000 new residents. The rest of the 170,000 were spread out over approximately 117 suburbs of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I can't prove it, But I believe the majority of people that move to the big cities of Fort Worth, Dallas, Frisco, McKinney, and Plano are because of job relocations, since these cities tend to be home to some big company headquarters. And they also tend to be the places that most people have heard of that live outside of Texas. So that's where they knew to search for a place to live. There are lots of great smaller towns and cities just outside of these larger, more crowded cities around the DFW Metroplex. So I wouldn't let fear of urban sprawl keep you from moving to the Dallas area.
The cost of actually owning a home in the Dallas area can be expensive. Here's what I mean. If you live in North Texas area, you can expect to have to replace your roof from a hailstorm long before it wears out in the 20 to 30 years it's built for. And the dry shifting ground can cause your foundation to shift, which can lead to you paying for piers to be placed. And of course, you cannot forget about the increasing property taxes attached to the rising home values. If you choose to live in the Dallas area, I would highly recommend getting a very good homeowner's insurance policy. When we bought our house several years ago, we chose to go with an insurance company that had a well-known name, but their cost was significantly less than all the other competitors. And, well, we dearly paid for it. Just a year later, a storm came through and the roof was leaking like crazy. It took about 9 months, including getting a public adjuster and the Texas Department of Insurance involved before we were able to get the roof replaced. As far as foundation issues, we personally never had any pier work done on any of the homes that we've lived in. As long as you keep your yard watered in the heat of the summer, it's possible to keep those severe issues from happening to your foundation. Our high property taxes have been a battle for a while. The only way we're going to get anything done about those is to keep the pressure on our state representatives. So if you move to the Dallas area, just know that it's important that you know who your representatives are and to communicate with them as much as possible.
We all know that in North Texas, we tend to have extreme heat in the summer and extreme cold in the winter. But what people tend to say they really don't like is the lack of seasons. In the Dallas area, we really don't have much of a spring or a fall season. So our season of getting to spend time outside and enjoying the weather is pretty short-lived, as well as the time to watch the leaves actually change colors. If you live in one of the bigger cities in the DFW area, you're probably not going to have a lot of places to enjoy being outside or see any trees turn. But if you live in the suburbs, like Flower Mound, there are lots of trees to watch change colors in our short-lived fall season. And for those that really love seeing the seasons change, they usually just take a trip to the East Coast to get their fill.
Something I think a lot of people aren't prepared for and tend to really hate about living in Dallas is the allergy issue. The Dallas-Fort Worth metro area is ranked as the second worst metropolitan area in the U.S. and the worst city in Texas for allergies, according to the 2023 Allergy Capitalist Report. DFW received an allergy score of 87, higher than the average of 71. If you or someone in your family struggles with seasonal allergies, you may not want to be living in the Dallas area. Tree pollen tends to be the culprit in North Texas between February and June, and you can see in this graph how much it shot up in May of 2022. Grass pollen is also high in the springtime, with weed pollen like ragweed higher in the fall. Our family does have some issues with allergies here in the spring and fall, but we've learned how to deal with them using a lot of the same recommendations given by the Asthma and Allergy Foundation. We try to stay inside those days when the pollen count are super high. We keep our windows closed and our AC filters replaced to keep the indoor air cleaner. And we make sure that we wash our hair and clothes after we've been outside for any activities. These things really do help. And if our allergies get really bad, we sometimes have to opt for the over-the-counter remedies like nose spray or antihistamines.
These are a few things we've personally heard people state that they really hate about living in Dallas. But honestly, we feel like the good outweighs the bad when it comes to living here. And by the way Dallas is growing, a lot of other people feel the same way.
If you'd like help finding the best place to live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, reach out and we'll be glad to help. Or you can watch another one of our videos about living in Dallas, Texas.